So good morning, my dear students, my well-wishers, and my subscribers. For you guys, today I enter into another new topic for the interview. So before I start this topic, I just give you some ideas about my previous channel. Due to some technical issues, my previous channel is now having some issues. So for you guys, take it easy. I start my new channel. You please subscribe it, inform your friends, relatives, they can use it because my main intention is what I can make you strong for the interview. Not only interview, after interview is over, how can you develop the project? I can also give you the guidelines. So for you guys, I just open it and I want the students of Odisha and outside Odisha never face any problem in case of interview. So you know that when in your college and that is in your student career, you learn a language, you learn the language not for interview basic. You just learn a language to face examination, but interview is something different. For you guys, I opened this channel because when you learn from this channel, you can easily face the interview. So without wasting the time, I'm just explaining that today's topic is static variable. The same question, what is static variable? Most of the guys tell that static variable is a class variable, but it is wrong. Don't tell like this. It is partially true, but it is not accepted in the industry. You tell that what is static variable and why I declare a static variable in Java. That is the main concept. That is their intention, and you have to tell like this. So now the same question, what is static variable? I tell you that static variable is also called as class variable. Now static variable are declared within a class but outside the method and constructed by static keyword. Static variable can be declared through any access specifier, public, private, protected, and no access. Static variables means class variable. Static variable is initialized by the class loader at the class loading time. That is a very important point. You have to understand. I'll draw a diagram here. Please check it. You see, I'm writing my source code. Whatever the code I write, that is called a source code. I write the source code in, take an example, E drive Java folder. You know that when I want to compile it, the Java compiler compiled the source code. You know that if the source code is successfully compiled, there is no error are there, no syntax errors are there, then it generates a .class file. But where it generates the class file? In the current working directory where I am working. If I am working in E drive Java, their .class file is that is generated. And that .class file read by JVM. You try to understand. JVM never understand any code. JVM only understand .class file. Because the .class file contains what? The .class file contains Java bytecode. So this bytecode is only recognized by, that is JVM. What the JVM does? The class loader takes the copy of the class file, load it in the memory. So class loader load the class file only once. Remember, that is a very important point. Class loader load the class file into memory only once. After it load the class file into memory, then execution engine, which is also another subsystem of JVM, the execution engine read the bytecode and interpret the bytecode and generate the machine code. So now the question is, how many times class loader take the copy of the class file and load it in memory? It will load the memory only once. So anyway, that's all about the concept of word static variable. Now my concept is static variable freely invoked within the same class, and outside the class it is invoked by class name because it is a class variable. If I am not initialize the static variable at the class loading time, class loader initialize it by default value. That concept is also called as auto-initialization. If anybody asks you what is called as auto-initialization, you tell that. At the class loading time, if the class loader saw the static variable is not initialized, then it auto-initializes the static variable by the default value of the derivatives. There is only one copy of the static variable, because in case of instance variable, multiple copies are created for every object. But static variable not created for the object, but created for the class. And there is a class loader load the copy of the class file into memory only once. So static variable initialized only once. So that's all about the concept of static variable. No multiple, that is, copies are created for the static variable. There is only one copy of the static variable. Instance variable case, n number of objects I create, n number of copies are created. But the static variable case, only one copy are created for the static variable. So static variable initialize only once by the class loader. Now, come to the point, what is the advantage of declaring a static variable? I already covered. That is, what is static variable? I covered. Static variable means class variable declared within a class but outside the method and constructor by static keyword. I can declare a static variable through any access specifier, public, private, protected, and no access. Static variable freely invoked within the same class, but outside the class it is invoked by class name. There is only one copy of static variable because class loader load the class file into memory only once. N number of objects I create, because it is not object variable, it is a class variable. N number of copies are not created. Only one copy are created at the class loading time. If I am not initialize the static variable, same rule. Class loader initialize it through the default value. Now, I move to the main part. What is the advantage of declaring a static variable in Java? The first advantage, shared by all objects. Take an example. If I have 10 number of objects, the same variable that is directly invoked by all the objects, but copy is once. Every object can use it, but copy is once. Second, SEP's memory. Obviously, it SEP's memory because copy is once. Instance variables case, every object, new copies are created. But here, as the copy is one, it saves the memory. Third, idle for constant and common data. You know that constant values never be changed and modified. You know that constants are common value. We can provide the common values for constant. And in case of Java, it is ideal for declaring a constant, because Java never supports global variable. So this variable is what ideal for declaring a constant. The last one, useful in memory management, as this variable initialized at the class loading time. This ensures certain values are available before the object is created. Before I create the object, certain values are already available. So that is the advantage for the programmer. So these are the points through which you can explain static variable. So first you tell what is static variable, you just explain, everybody knows it. But after that you explain static variable initialized at what time. Static variable initialized at the class loading time by the class loader. If I am not initialized, then it is auto-initialized by class loader at the class loading time through the default values. Next one is there is only one copy of the static variable, n number of objects you create. That is, copy must be one, because static variable load into memory how many times? Only once by class loader. What is the advantage of declaring the static variable? These are the advantages. So in this way, if you explain, everybody will understand, you know the concept, you know the fundamental concepts. So I saw that when I started my career also, I don't know why I declare static variable. Everybody write that is what the static variable or declare the static variable in the program. I also declare the static variable. But I never understand why I declare the static variable. But for a fresher, it is very much required to understand why you declare a static variable. At last, before I conclude the topic, I just give you one request, or I make you one request. If the topics are interesting, please subscribe the channel and please share the message that I start my new channel for you guys for facing the interview. Thank you.